Am I the asshole for refusing to turn my home office back into a bedroom for my daughter? 2 years ago, our daughter moved out to go live with her boyfriend. Just after she moved out, I started working for a different company that allowed working from home. So I turned my daughter's bedroom into a home office. Half of my job is talking to clients on Zoom, so I needed a quiet place in the house. A week ago, our daughter announced that she is moving back because her boyfriend got a job abroad. And she doesn't want to go with him. Me and my wife both agreed that she can move back. We have a spare room in our house that we used to use as a guest bedroom, but we haven't had any overnight guests in years, so we just decided that she could move in there. On Wednesday she moved back in, and since then she's been constantly nagging us to get her old bedroom back because it's bigger and is on a spur 8 floor, so there's more privacy. We told her that I need my office, but now she somehow managed to get my wife on her side and they're both nagging me. I told them point blank that I'm not giving up my office. And now they're treating me like I'm the enemy. So am I the asshole? Edit. Since so many people keep asking why I don't use the guest room as the office, I considered using the guest room as the office before I even turned her old bedroom into one, but it doesn't work because it's on the same floor as the other kids' rooms and the living room, so even behind closed doors you can hear them yelling and playing. Not the asshole. Are you supposed to just keep this full bedroom untouched and unused for the rest of your lives? She's an adult. She moved out of your house. You can use whatever room in that house for whatever you want. That includes an office for you since you work from home. You offered her the guest room to use as her own. If she doesn't like it, then she can find her own house. For someone not paying any rent and being welcomed back home with open arms, she sure is entitled. Not the asshole. You can't indefinitely keep that room unused for the rest of your life in case she bounces back. Furthermore, you need your office for your work. Finally, she's not paying rent as far as I know while staying under your roof. Essentially, if she's not happy with the free housing, she can get an apartment. Not the asshole. She moved and is an adult. If you need a quiet place to work and there's another room she can sleep in, that's that. She can take it or leave it. Not the asshole. Remind her and your wife that your adult daughter a temporary guest, and while your home is temporarily her home as well, you aren't going to uproot your workspace. And please don't ask again for my office. Honestly, your daughter sounds entitled and ungrateful. Good luck. Not the asshole. She moved out and the space changed. She then moved into a different space. Your work is your livelihood and not a luxury either. But I imagine your wife is probably enjoying have her back in the house and doesn't want her to leave any sooner than necessary. Not the asshole. Her being back is temporary. She's a guest and is in the guest room. You're both nice to let her return, but you don't need to give up your office. She needs to give up on childhood and move on. Not the asshole. She doesn't get to dictate what room she can use in your house. That's ridiculous. Not the asshole. Also, allowing some discomfort like this will motivate her to venture out on her own faster. Not the asshole. I'm sorry. Is she paying bills? This is your home and you need somewhere to work if you want to keep it. I particularly like a week ago our daughter announced that she is moving back. It's good of you that you're fine with her return. But I don't think I'd accept such an announcement. If the child would ask for such a favor, you'd be 100 in your right to refuse. You're not the asshole for keeping your office. Tell her that if she doesn't like what you offer, she's free to not accept it and go somewhere else. Not the asshole. I'm assuming your daughter is adult as she had moved out. Your house wasn't her home anymore. You were well within your rights to use her old room for whatever you wanted. You are letting her move back in due to her new circumstances. But she can't dictate which room she has while she is with you. Not the asshole. She's a whole ass grown-up who shouldn't be planning to stay for the long term. If she wants extra privacy and more space, her own apartment would offer both. Not the asshole. Your work is what pays the mortgage bills for her to live there. Assuming she's capable of working live there free in the separate room or pay her own way like an adult. Not the asshole. Quite the choosing beggar, since I assume you aren't charging rent. If she's old enough to move out, she doesn't need to have an official bedroom. She's fortunate enough you're allowing her to move back in. Beggars can't be choosers. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. But someone who just moved back certainly is. Not the asshole. I moved out at 18 and back home when I was 20. I got the smallest bedroom when I moved back in, as my parents had turned my old bedroom into a TV room den. It didn't even occur to me to argue about it. I was thankful to not have to pay rent anymore and barely scrape by as I was when I had my own place. Not the asshole. She's an adult. Tell her to start apartment hunting if she doesn't like it that much. And she better start now, because it's gonna be a rough hunt. Not the asshole. When I moved out, my parents turned my room into my dad's home office. Several years later, I was moving back into the area and needed a place to stay while house hunting. They offered the other 2 bedrooms, one for me and husband, one for son. I said thank you and slept there for 6 months until closing on a house. They refused to take money for rent, but I did all the food shopping. Not the asshole. Your daughter's an adult and she should act like it. She should understand that you need that space for work and that you can't always change to accommodate her needs. I'm curious as to what she told your wife in order to get her on her side. Not the asshole. She moved out when it was convenient for her. She can't just expect to move back in because it's convenient for her and just get her old room back. I'm guessing you pay at least half the bills, so your job should take precedent over her wants. If she doesn't like it, then she can always move out and get her own place. Not the asshole. My folks did the same thing when my brother moved out and moved me into his bedroom and turned my old bedroom into another guest room. Not the asshole. She's presumably going to move out sooner than later and you need to work to support your family. She's being a brat and your wife needs to grow a backbone. Stand your ground. How old is your daughter? She could get her own place. Definitely not the asshole. She made her decision to move out and should be grateful for being accepted back. Moving out is a big decision. And of course shit happens in life and sometimes you need to give a step back. But she can't expect to go back in time. Don't give up on your office. She'll learn a precious life lesson. Not the asshole. It isn't her room anymore. She is being incredibly entitled and ungracious. Perhaps you should let her know that Isnache doesn't like the presumably free accommodations. She can go find somewhere else to stay. Not the asshole. It's not like you're refusing to take her in. She can handle the situation like an adult. Not the asshole. If she wants a bigger room, she can get her own place. Not the asshole. How things were doesn't mean they will always be that way. 2 years is a long time to be gone. If she's moving in rent-free on your generosity, she cannot complain. Not the asshole. You just took over an unused room. Now that she wants to go back, she can do the same and use the guest room. I don't know for how long your daughter wants to stay, but if you went through with what they want, you would probably have to move your things once she leaves again. Given that you don't have an abundance of rooms, you can't keep one of them to be your daughter's forever.